over the line. The check was ahead of the play, offside. So the Leafs had possession without a shot, and then Marchand back the other way with a shorthanded chance.
I need to say something.
Okay.
I don't want to burden you.
You won't.
The cantaloupe. They got a knock on it lately. Shouldn't sound like nobody's home.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, done. I also do that.
BetMGM Casino has the most exciting live dealer tables. So when you want the magic of Vegas, you get the magic of Vegas. All the excitement of a player's paradise with live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, baccarat, and more. Anytime, anywhere. Download BetMGM Casino.
To defeat his opponent, you're gonna need karate.
Check it on, check it
Where
on.
did you come up with this?
Focus!
1-inch punch!
I taught him that.
No, I taught him that.
Karate Kid Legends, May 30th.
No,
Now, you can
51
get
is
whiter
different.
teeth in just one day with Crest 3D White Deep Stain Remover. A
there
new
are work,
revolutionary
I've done work
toothpaste
where
that
it's
goes
like
deeper
50
to dissolve the bonds that hold
hours,
stains to
51
teeth.
hours.
Coffee,
But they
wine,
use their night
tea,
shift.
gone.
Yeah. Because they kind of...
Connor
Because they
McDavid
know
said we
night
owed
shift's
Vegas a
not
good series
desirable.
after they
They
eliminated
kinda
them 2 years ago. It was
incentivize the night
McDavid
shift
and
by giving
Draisaitl
it
in
more
overtime
hours
of
of
Game
pay.
2. The Oilers take both on the road. Game 3 in Edmonton tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain on
the work I'm
Sportsnet and
choosing.
CBC, Chris.
Feels like a lot has happened in this second period. The shots are 5-2 Florida.
Average pay time, 43
But 3 goals have been scored.
42...
Unlike those periods that fly by, it seems to take a while too. There's been many stoppages.
Even Moritz sends it down into the Panther zone.
Back-to-back, the fourth line out of the commercial break for Craig Berube has started.
Not awful.
Off the boards, out to center. Kachuk's on it.
Alright,
Bennett
I
alongside, rolls through. And Cole plays that away. Out of the reach
I
of
also
the
picked-
kept in by Kulikov.
If I don't get my top
Cave
choices,
reversing
I
it.
also picked
Benoit
it's called
up the boards.
vacation relief.
Knocked down
So-
outside the line by Kulikov.
On Monday, once we get our work, if I get a
That's
vacation
off the
relief,
stick in about
the
10
following
rows
week
up
we get to
into
pick work, and it
one
goes
of
by seniority,
blue and white
and we pick
clad
and choose
fans
who's
here in the
working
building
what
in
day
that
that's on
area anyway.
vacation.
Not as much as a regular season. You know, there is one thing. We saw it in Ottawa too that
So I
the
picked that
Ottawa
as well,
fans
but
trying
sometimes you
to
can score
keep
some
the
pretty
Leaf
good
fans out. If this
goals.
was a Friday night or a Saturday night in the middle of the season, I think you'd see double or triple the amount of Leaf jerseys. But it's always well represented. But it does look like they tried to keep as many out as they could.
And in the last few years, this has been a full building, not the way it once was. In come the Panthers. Ekblad from center fires it in. He was in the midst of that pile-up goal that got them within one, and shortly back on even terms.
So I picked work that
Here's a
has
chance, and that
all the
went
weekends
wide as
off, but I know I won't get
fired
it
it off
because
target.
I'm seniority for it.
Kept in
But
by
I picked 1,
Jones
2,
off a
3,
stick, and
4,
Marner
5,
hands it off.
6, 7,
Matthews ahead. It'll be dumped in by Ekman Larson. He's got Forsling trying to get away from Knives. Lundell, the lead feed that bounces
24
down the
pieces
ice.
of work that
Cole
have all
plays that
weekends
around.
off.
John
Let's
Tavares.
see how far I am in this.
Sent back in by Ekblad. Ekman Larson for Riley.
Yeah, and it
Pacioretty trying to chip
shows
it
what
past
time I'm
Ekblad
signing
does,
and
but
all that.
that's icing
So here it is.
against Toronto.
So here
These
it
are the
is.
kind of games that are playoff hockey, right?
I
You
am in
think
group-
you've got control of the game for a
I am
second,
in
and
group
in the period,
4.
a couple of
So
goals,
my
what, a minute
cutoff,
7,
so when they
4
pick my
apart,
work,
and
it's on
now you're
Monday at
back
10,
into a
10
tight
a.m.
match again. Can you
Let's
make those
see how
kind of
many
plays
people
under
ahead.
pressure? Can you win the battle along the boards? That's the determining factor in all these tight playoffs.
11.
Reinhardt and Verhage both with their third of the playoffs, their first in this series. And two guys have been regular scorers in their last
41
two
people ahead of
runs
me.
to the Stanley Cup
And
final
I think I said
last year.
I signed 24
a championship.
pieces that have all
Well, one thing
weekends.
Paul Maurice has always
But all these
preached
people are
is you
morning-
need everybody,
or
right?
ahead.
You know on a night
So
that your
they're all
top guys
gonna
are going to
take
give you
triple.
the
See,
goals
there's
you need. You
Rams.
think of
Rams
the cup
even
run,
have
it was Barkov
Rams,
and Matthew Tkachuk
1, 2, 3
tied with
people.
22 points each in the 24 games. Y'all know what
I feel
Connor
sorry for
McDavid
this
did
guy
to win
right
the
here.
Conn Smythe, but it takes a good
Oh, yeah.
balance in the
He's
lineup
group
to have the
13,
success
very
that
last.
Paul Maurice
Very
here in
last.
agreement with Scott Cherry about that.
No. They're not normally young, no.
Along the line.
They just started like, not too long ago, so they're at the very bottom.
Ekblad through center, trying to spring Reinhardt once again. Back is McCabe. Off the boards and back out to center ice. 5:35 left here in the second period of game 3. Tied at 3.
When I started
And here
working,
come the
I was the
Panthers
youngest in my
pass to
group, and I was
Rodriguez. Broke it up, Nylander over for Pacioretty.
32, I think,
Unable to catch
31.
up to that. Kulikov wheeling.
Now, there
the
has
left
been
defenseman,
younger operators.
sending
There's
it
one
in.
guy that only works
EJ
on that
Greer off the
20.
bench. That one played to the net. Fourth line comes up for Florida. Greer turned, and that shot didn't get through. Out it comes for Benoit. There's Simone Benoit over the line. Dumping it in. Matthews comes out. Leafs will try and take advantage of this matchup. Marner can't hold his own. Back the other way, Nosek. Along with Yachevich. Scores! From wall! And Florida has its first lead of the night.
So I'm pretty good in seniority because there's 93 people below me. Yeah. So there's 93 people below me. And
You
40
talked about the matchup, and this was the fourth
something
line that
ahead
kind
of
of
me.
got trapped as
So I'm in a
Leafs were
good
able
spot.
to get the Matthews line out there. It looked like the pressure, two guys in deep. Puck hops over the stick of Mitch Marner.
Yes.
Florida bench
In
is
maybe
like,
10
we want
more
your
years.
fourth line to change. But there's that shot
I'll
by
start
Nosek.
moving because these are all
Nosek playing his
this
first
one's
game as a
that one's
Florida Panther
She's almost
in the
gone.
overtime, and that's
This
one
one's
for Joseph Wall. He was
this
late
guy should
picking
be
it up through the
retired, but
body,
he's still working.
went to go blocker it to the side, and instead overextended, and that one slides underneath the arm. And what
Oh, I
another
had what a day I
unsuspecting
had
goal
today.
from a
I
guy
had
who's getting his
shit
first
today.
chance
So
to play
earlier in the day,
playoffs for the Panthers.
I was
not
in a
scored since
collision.
November the
Nothing
7th.
major. I
First
clipped
at
the truck
57,
mirror
and it's the first lead of the night
because a car
for the Florida
cut me
Panthers.
off last minute, and
Under 5 to go
I
here in the
steered a
second
little bit
period.
to the left,
At
and I didn't correct
15:07,
myself
no
quick
set.
enough, so I kept
It's
moving.
4-3
And you know, not pickup trucks, like delivery trucks, how their mirrors also extend out. So I was only going probably about 5-10 kilometers, so I was going slow. And my mirror did this to the other guy's mirror.
You're not having any fun.
And I was like,
Are you
oh,
having any
fuck.
laugh?
I was like,
Are you
great,
getting
now I have to
any
create an incident
loving?
report and all
If
this.
other people
So
do,
I had to do
can
that.
have a little fun.
So that could have just looked at the guy and be like, yeah, well, no, the other guy was panicked because there was no damage.
Why are
If he
people
had just
everywhere
not-
talking about
if he had just walked and
Bet99
said,
Casino?
yeah, there's no damage,
Because Vegas
don't worry
is
about it.
just
Okay,
one click
I
away.
won't worry about it either. And we
With
would
live
just
dealer
move on.
tables
No paperwork
including
for either
blackjack
of us.
and roulette,
But
plus
she
Ontario's
was
favorite
a younger
slots.
East Indian
With
lady
over
driving a
2,500
Staples
casino
truck.
games,
And she called her
Bet99
supervisor
brings
right
Vegas
away.
right to you.
And
And
the
you.
supervisor's like,
and
no, you gotta fill out an
Bet99
accident
Casino.
report.
We've got casino
Even though there
games
was
for
no
everyone.
damage at all.
Download
Not even a
Bet99
scuff
today.
mark. I was
Ontario's
literally going
online
5
casino.
kilometers. The mirror just went like this. It just went. No damage. So I had to call my supervisor, pull over, take
When
pictures,
flight
fill out
prices
a
dropped,
report.
Vic
So
could
now I'm gonna
finally
get a
book his
preventable.
midlife crisis.
Which, if you get too many
You were
bills,
made
you
to
can
embrace
get
all
suspension.
life stages. We were made to tell you when it's the best time to book your flight. Expedia,
And then today,
made to
people were
travel.
just being stupid. on the road.
Well, John Tavares noted
I don't know
before the
how many
playoffs
close
that
calls
over
I
the years,
had
even
with
when the
other
success
cars
hadn't
in
been there for
this
Toronto, just how close some of the
just
little moments had been.
I was like, great.
Already in this series, a couple
Another
of pucks
accident's gonna
pulled
happen.
off nearly
2
right
accidents
at the
in
goal
one day,
line.
but
And then
luckily nothing
tonight,
else happened.
similar play. This one does not go their way.
No,
Sparked what's
no.
been a 3-goal barrage
a
for the Panthers in
non-preventable.
this second period.
If someone
Team of
else
the
created
playoffs
the
has
accident,
been
if
laying
I
it on
wasn't
the line.
moving and someone hit my mirror or anything,
And that led to
those
3
count
in
as non-preventable, so
9:54
there's
here.
no way I could prevent that
3
accident.
straight for Florida.
Whereas preventable,
First credited
hey,
to
you could
Reinhart.
have prevented that accident.
No
so you're
second
it's
has
it
given
stays on
Florida
your
the
record
lead.
for the year. So today's it was preventable.
His first Stanley Cup playoff goal
It
since the
hasn't gone
Stanley
through
Cup
the
final
review
series.
yet, but the review board
2018
is
when
going
he
to
was a
slap
Golden
you.
Knight playing against Washington.
You could have prevented that
Actually
accident.
scored 3 goals
No,
in that
it
Stanley Cup
real
final
so
series.
much when the car tried to avoid
So now
car took
changes
3
the
lanes,
lead.
so I slowed down, and as I slowed down, I just instinctively moved my wheel to the left a little bit, and then I was like, okay, no accident happened, but I kept going, and then the truck was turning left, and that's when I knew. I'm pissed at myself for allowing that to happen.
Pairing that's been so good.
Delayed offside, so Bennett has to leave it. And now Holmberg starts out. Holmberg over the line. Holmberg now. Tavares and Pacioretty at least in the midst of the team, you would think. Riley sends it across. Holmberg heads off and over the board
So I
to
can kiss
Nylander.
goodbye that award.
William Nylander circles back.
Award
Beats
Excellence of
ahead.
Safe
Scott
Driving,
Pacioretty
7 years.
working his way in. Centers. Tavares couldn't take it off his skate.
7 years.
As he was
You have the rest of your career.
battling there with Reinhart.
I was hoping it would never. I was hoping I'd be one of like there was one driver when he retired. He had almost 30 years of safe driving.
Walking in the shot.
Never never a recorded collision because there's times where our mirrors ding things and we don't call it in because no one noticed it. Didn't do any damage. I'm not gonna knock myself out.
Taken away by Riley. Pacioretty out at center.
Like
Even if it was something that was obvious, I would just pretend like it didn't happen for the rest of the day, and then like I'd get back to the bay, park in the car, and then it would be like a million dudes just waiting for me. Like
last year, before I went off sick, every summer they like to fucking install. They call it cones. They put these cones with the speed limit in the middle of the road to try to slow down traffic. Well, on certain buses, our mirrors hang really low, and sometimes our mirrors will tap the wheels, but these boards I remember last year I was doing it, and I forgot I was in the bus, I had a little mirror, and it goes, thump, and I went, oh fuck, my mirror went,
Panthers to this point, the 1-goal lead.
got to a stop sign, opened my window and dude, continue going. I got no fucking reporting that in. There's no damage. Yeah. Fuck that. I'm like, the stupid city shouldn't put those boards in the middle of the road. That means nothing.
On that note, the
It doesn't slow down cars because it's wide enough that cars fit through it easily. It's the fucking buses and trucks that end up having this fucking scramble through them.
there's a lot of bridges in London.
He bumps it back. There's Benoit hit for 9. Dumps it in off the board.
Stupid little bridges
At the line, pulled down by Nice. He gets knocked down. And the Panthers advance.
But sometimes
Swung in
the
there by
buses and the
Lindell.
trucks forget
In behind the net, McKee back.
Oh no!
Comes loose to Matthews. Under 2 to go in the second period. Milwaukee swinging right to that
yeah.
There again, it's Benoit and McKee. That pairing switch will have to look at the forward.
Here's a chance in front for Verhage, and he got spun around.
There's a road in Kitchener that's like that, where it's like the ridge is low,
And that off the post.
but it's high enough for the city buses to get through, but
hits
transport
iron.
trucks can't.
Yeah, he's looking skyward there. You
And
know,
we've had
Schmidt at the end of the
many a
season
times
had 22
transport
games
trucks
without a
wedge
goal.
themselves
All of
under
a
this
sudden
bridge
scored 3 in the
because
first
they
2
don't realize
games
they
of the
can't go
playoffs.
through
Here's
it.
his
They
best
see a bus and
chance
go,
to
oh, it's
battle
tall
out of the
enough for
corner
them.
and
It's
just
tall
all
enough for
alone
me.
in front. Delayed for a second, gets it up high over the shoulder as Wall has the traffic in front of him, slides across a little bit late on that one, but off the bar and out of the building.
2 bars for Florida. Mentioned Nate Schmidt with Goals in the first two. He had game winners in the first two games against Tampa. That's the first time a defenseman's
Well, there's
done
this
that
one in the States,
the playoffs
and it's
in the modern
hilarious
era.
the damage it does. I don't know if you've ever seen this one.
Pretty good for a guy who was a healthy scratch.
So there's flashing lights, there's a thing installed on the bridge
in Winnipeg
to prevent trucks from going, but trucks ignore it, and look, that one is okay. Oh, no.
Yarn broke off the boards. And
Slices
here's
it
the
open.
Reds. Lawton catching up. Maybe a 2-on-1. Red stop rebound. Net comes off. Was the puck going in? And now a late hit on Yarncrook. No sex down.
One day I watched this YouTube channel.
No set flying through the middle that knocked the net up as
and it's usually like U-Hauls or these rented trucks. Look at this one.
He's still looking to be a little
the whole top sliced off.
While all this is going on, the Leafs will want to know
all of it gone. Now it's a
at the end
convertible.
of the play when the net was knocked off.
If nothing else, Chris, they also want, did Nosek just knock it off on his own accord, and that would be a penalty. Give the Leafs an opportunity. Good drive to the net.
And it has they've installed signs further up the road.
I think the officials will have a conversation here. He doesn't make any attempt to try to stop at all. You can see Bobrovsky does a great job of getting the glove down. But
it's
if I'm on the Leaf bench right now, if Greg Berube watching that, that's got to be a power play opportunity here. And that's the discussion that's going on.
Was that a Leafs goal?
Clearly made the stop. Yarncrook knocked it back in where the net would have been.
But they completely rushed the net and
had it knocked off, and that caused a fracas. It doesn't look like we're going to get any further calls on the play.
Well, I mean, if I'm a forward coming back, that's a smart play to do if you can get away with it. But he makes no effort at all that he's got to stop.
No,
what does that do? Well, knocking the net off there ends a play that's a dangerous play. That should be a power play.
But it could be a power play because if he intentionally knocks off the net,
in front of the penalty box, but they have elected not to make the call. And Nosek has gone to the Florida dressing room.
Oh, was that the goalie that knocked the...
the player.
This is the period that's been, this one's been so many whistles and so many reviews and looking around.
Around a 45-minute second period. Still got a minute 19 to play.
A late load up here for Berube, putting Nylander out with Matthews and March.
And that'll be steered down the ice for an icing call, so the Leafs get an offensive zone face-off with 72 seconds to go. Nosek back on the Florida bench.
A little discussion here between the offense. Win a draw, where's the puck going to go? There's so many different options and face-off plays that not just the Leafs, every team in the league have. And the key here is win the draw cleanly back.
But it's Lundell winning the face-off, and it's shoveled out to center by Marchand. Fired right back in by Carlo. Nylander going after it. Marchand with control behind the net. Will work it ahead to Lewis Arena. And now in the final minute, it's fired in by Jones. Marchand takes the tumble in the Leaf zone, and Riley away with the puck. Nylander's got it. Got to chip it past Jones, and Jones knocked it down to put the play offside.
Yeah, really good aggressive play there by Jones, knowing that Riley is jumping up. You get the moments where you can add that extra defender coming up to create a chance. Good job in the defensive zone. Watch how quickly he sees Marchand falls down. So Morgan Riley trying to drive, just get that one chipped by, but a great stick by Jones to knock it down and force the offside.
Some odd people, companies, whatever, have put bids to either run the base, or to just buy like the stripes, you know, the base popular it's branded those colored stripes. Others want the Zeller's name changed.
Working his way in, puts it down. Tavares has scored the goal that gave the Leafs a 3-1 lead in the period. Out there now as Holmberg looked to center, but unable to get it in front. Reinhardt, final 10 seconds. Sliding it through 10 in there to pick that off. Near side, nobody around. As the clock drains, and second period finally done as Ekblad crashed in at the echo of the horn. And so they'll talk about that a little bit longer.
Will be synonymous with the Hudson's Bay Company, so if one company actually outright buys the company, then
so by the time they get to the rooms, it'll be 48 minutes.
That's just how
oh, you know, he's like
someone
is running a Zellers, Canadian Tire selling blankets with the Hudson's Bay stripe colors.
Exactly.
Under the Frank brand or whatever the heck their in-house brand is.
I mean, I
after 40 minutes in game 3, right along with Kevin Elliott and Rick Bonus coming up.
I love the
second
big Frank's brand, like Canadian Tire House with the chips or whatever. Frank is spicy hot. Like their little sayings they put on their thing is hilarious.
You missed his turn at the pinata. Because you were busy not missing Watch in-game highlights, stories, and post-game recaps only with the NHL app.
Frank's likes to stick
Rocky's
to
vacation, here we come.
Stupid
Hang on.
sayings. Like it's just funny.
Dean's locked into that free beer. Did he just cheers himself? The pretzels are flowing. Dad's becoming a bear expert. Expect a fact at dinner. And there's Mom putting the fast free Wi-Fi to excellent use. If I didn't know any better, I think we're already on vacation.
I got so annoyed that now YouTube was bad. I got so
Your
annoyed
average
with
weekly
YouTube,
shop
I
costs
actually
less at
upgraded
Walmart
to
than at
premium
any other major grocery
because
store.
it was just driving
We save
me
you
nuts.
time
And
and
if you
money by
watch it on
price
the
checking
TV,
thousands of
'cause, like,
items, so you
that's the last
don't have
shit
to.
You hear that, Jerry?
The
We can
commercials
stop
were
now.
worse. If you watched it on the iPad or your phone, they were tolerable. But if
That
you
first heat wave can hit any time. Get ahead of it with an AC from Reliance.
That was fast.
Save up to $1,000 on a new AC and pay $0 up front with standard installation.
Who invites a husky guy to an outdoor summer wedding? Like 100 degrees. And because I sweat a lot, I went to Moore's and got a suit with a special fabric called Chill Flex that breathes and keeps me cool.
Even in these inhumane conditions.
Introducing Rogers Xfinity with internet that handles it all.
Awesome. I'll be right back.
Built for more devices.
That's why I was able to do
What
it.
if I crash through the window? That's genius. Let's do that.
My
Excellent.
TV is over
So Keanu can do everything.
You're so Johnny Roll.
Well, almost everything.
Why don't you stick to acting on me, Keanu?
Let's go. Rogers Xfinity is here on Canada's most reliable internet.
Well, you don't have it. I mean, I haven't
Tomorrow on Sportsnet.
Depending on how the game is, maybe you can do a 5.
Now, the series shifts to Carolina. Now the pressure's on. Then, Hockey Central sets up a Game 3 showdown.
I got lit in the garage, so...
After some OT heroics, the Oilers are in control. The Stanley Cup playoffs. Watch on Sportsnet. Stream on Sportsnet
I've just
Plus.
looked. I haven't touched
The Silverado Trail Boss.
I went around and got a lot of the big stuff.
Oh, you already started?
And a little work.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Thank you, baby. You didn't have to do that.
And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
Truck Month is on now at Chevrolet. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select 2025 Silverado models, or visit your dealer for lease offers.
And Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Canada, we are at our best when our hearts beat as one. United. From coast to coast to coast. Canada isn't Canada without Team Canada. And Team Canada is nothing without you.
Like, it's just crazy to me that, like...
This second intermission, brought to you by Rogers Xfinity. Get game-changing internet on Canada's most reliable internet.
Ways to lock it off in the back.
Big second period for Florida. So, gentlemen, Benoit, Tanev, Marner, McCabe, Carlo, Lawton, Riley, Pacioretty, Nylander, McMahon. 10 guys, not a shot. But what's noticed
in there is 5 of them are defensemen, and as you know, the Leaf Blue
building
Line
a fence
has
would
provided
definitely
7
help
goals in the
block
playoffs.
a lot of
OEL is
the
the only
shit coming in
defender
from
with a
the
shot. He
wings.
has 1.
But
Is it mixing and matching in order to try and get some offense from the blue line, or just because?
Even if we did
Well,
most of the
the
work
pucks aren't getting
ourselves,
through,
still
but I
gotta
think
buy
they
all the
switched their
materials.
pairings that Craig mentioned there for a while, and that could be sometimes because one pair is maybe struggling a bit. And you just look at the stats again, Ron. I think -2 was the Benoit OEL pairing. So we go back to my coach over here, and I remember the one story where Bones, you came to me. You don't remember any of this because you've coached a million games. But he said to me, he says, "Your pairing, I'm switching you up, and it's not your fault. The Hamhuis Garrison pairing is playing really well, so I can't mix them up. But the other pair's struggling, so I'm going to have to switch them up with you and your partner. Just to kind of even things out."
That's a vote of confidence that somebody was struggling and put them with you.
Yeah,
so you settle it down.
But is that a
and you
common
could
thing?
skate the. Oh no.
Well, I guess we can
well,
watch
it is
the
in
rest
this
of the game.
scenario.
I'll
But
kick you
so
out.
there's key things that I would look for here about these defensive
I was gonna
pairings.
watch,
Late in the
my
period,
own
you've got
show,
Matthews'
but
line out there, and
the
who
game's
comes out?
on, it's
Riley and
important.
Carter.
I'd rather
Late
hang
in the
out with
period
you
when they've got to
downstairs.
get out of this period, who's
Unless
on the
you want
ice?
to come
Canada,
play,
McCabe. So they went right back to those pairings.
Runescape.
Now, Florida scores 2 quick goals like that. Okay, let's change things up a little bit. We'll see what they do in the third. But I don't think we should overreact to it at this point. We'll see what he does in the third
Around
because
9 or
the
10,
matchups
pick up my
change.
car.
Paul all of a
Today
sudden